Hello, it's Diane. I'm working on a journal, actually two journals, using Mrs. Cog's In the Schoolroom kit. And I am making fabric collage pockets on the front of each signature page. Does that make sense? The front page of each signature. There. So I tried to video these pockets so you could see me doing the selection process and putting it together and sewing it on, but I had too much trouble with my sewing machine, so I gave up on that video. But I figured I could show it to you with the second book. So I have these three signatures, and I just wanted to show you. I have all the images cut out from the Mrs. Cog's kit. Some of them are in landscape. Quite a few of them in this kit are in landscape. I didn't want to use those because they're a little bit too wide. These are small books, and I needed to have fabric extending beyond, so I disregarded these for this portion of the project. So then I had to just look through the smaller images and select the images that I wanted to use. So I'm using this black and white image. Looks like maybe in the 40s, maybe 30s. And this painting, much older time period, and then this one. So these are the images I'm going to use. I guess I'll start with this one, and this is my little box of small pieces of fabric, and I'm going to go through here first to see if there's anything I can use here. I always look through here first, and then if I don't see anything I like, then I go to my bigger box. So let me just see what's in here. Would this music one be good? Oh, music one's cute. Maybe we'll use that. So this is the size of the music fabric. But I don't think I like that there's not enough contrast between the fabric and the photo. This fabric this fabric would be better with a colored photo, I think. So I will keep looking. I just thought it might be helpful to you to see my thought process as I make my selections for the fabric collages. I do them pretty carefully, but not carefully, if that makes sense. I want it to be casual and not too perfect. I don't like anything in there for this, so I'm going to go to my big box. But I want it to look nice together, but it doesn't have to be matchy-matchy, which is what I mean by I do it carefully, but not too carefully. Okay, if there's something good in here, let's see if we can find it. There should be, with all these fabrics. That could work. Set that aside. Don't know if I want this plaid, but let's see. That might be cute. Set that aside. Can you hear the train? Most of the time I don't even notice it. It's down at the bottom of the hill that I live on. Okay, I think I'm going to check out those two fabrics. I will cut them both to the right size and then audition them both and see what we think. So, what I do is I tear the fabric. I kind of snip it to where I want it. Not kind of, I do snip it to where I want it. And then just tear, and you get a raw edge, and I always make sure I pull all the loose threads. Even if you don't like the raw edge, you can tear it like that, and that way you get a perfectly straight edge because it tears right on the grain, which makes it straight. And you could cut it after that, after you get a nice straight line. Or even fold it under, like you're hemming it. there's that one. And now we'll try the plaid one. This one is cut irregularly because it was given to me by someone and it's a scrap of theirs and I don't know what was made out of it. This edge seems pretty even, so I'll use this side. I won't bother pulling threads till I know which piece I'm going to use. You don't need to watch me doing all that. Okay. Oops, I cut that a little too wide. This one is a looser weave, and so you get a lot of threads with this. I like that. So you don't see a lot of the fabric, you just need a hint. And I really like that because it contrasts more with the photo and with the paper. This one is light, so it doesn't really contrast a lot with the photo. So I think we'll go with the plaid. And now this piece can go in that box with the smaller pieces. And it will be used for something else. Okay, so that's piece number one. I'm going to have another piece of fabric. I will just show you what I have here. So there's a large piece of fabric and then a strip of fabric down the side. So that's what I'm going to select now. I've got some strips off to the side of this box. After every journal I make, I really... oh, the strips are on this side. I really have to reorganize this box. I make a mess of it for each journal that I make. Maybe this one, let's see. Yeah, that looks good. It's got yellow in it, like the flowers. And I even like to use the selvage with the color palette on it and the writing. I always save those pieces and use them. Okay, so I'll have this hanging off the top and the bottom. So it's like that. Now I need a little piece of lace at the bottom, and I'll put some rickrack and crochet trim or something like that at the top. I have my fabric or my laces down here where you can't see them. Maybe I'll go with this cute little ball trim. Just a little piece. I set my box of fabrics on the floor, or my laces on the floor by my sewing machine while I'm working. So it's right handy. And then when I've completed the journals and cleaning up my room, I put it back on the shelf. Temporarily. It spends most of the time on the floor because I always have a project going on. And here are my eyelets and rickracks and some crochet trims. I have a lot of trims and I've outgrown the boxes that I use. So I also have this extra box. And it's where all my rickracks are. I think maybe I'll go with one of these greens. Which one do you think? I have a dark green and a light green. I think the dark green would be a better contrast because the background of the paper is light green. So we'll just use a little snip of that. And I guess a piece of this. So this is what the finished collage would look like. So I will, sorry, that was my sewing machine moving. I will stitch all of these together and then stitch it on. has a pocket. I don't know if you can see a little bit, I guess. I'm going to use the zigzag stitch. When I'm sewing with fabric on these things with raw edges, I like to use the zigzag stitch because it prevents fraying. Now this fabric will probably fray maybe right till it gets to the zigzag stitch. Because like I said, it's a loose weave. But it's not like you're wearing these things, so they shouldn't fray too much anyway. We don't wear them and wash them or anything. We just look at them and admire them and write in them. Now I could leave this loose like that, but I did on the other ones, I think. But I think that I'm just going to stitch this one down. And I do like to leave some threads, but when I'm making a collage, there's a lot of snipped threads. So I usually cut them, and then when I sew it onto the pocket, those are the threads I might leave. Now I'll stitch the top trim on. And there's the collage. I said in the other video that I'm not going to show that I like things to be off-center a bit because it looks more spontaneous and casual and not like perfectly planned and put together. Sorry for bumping the camera. That's how I like to do things. I offset a little bit. And you can hardly see the plaid fabric now, but you can see it enough that it's just a bit of contrast there. And it adds interest. So I'm just stitching around the sides and the bottom. I need to back that up because it'll go off the fabric. And I'm hoping this isn't going to mess my sewing machine up, because this is when it gets tangled. Okay, we're good. If I try to do stuff like that too quickly, my thread just gets tangled and knotted, and I have to stop and fix everything, which is what happened in the other video. So there's one, and I have a shipping tag here. This is probably not the one I'm going to use in the pockets. I just wanted to make sure it would fit. So we would have a shipping tag in there. So there's one, and I don't think you probably want to watch me do another one because I'm already at 13, almost 14 minutes. But I will be doing more collages. Now you've seen my process for choosing and putting it together. I hope it was helpful to you, and stay tuned to see the finished products. Bye-bye.